All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to tackle one of those interview questions that, let's be honest, can be super stressful for backend developers. You know the one. So tell me about your experience with AWS. We are going to break down exactly how to nail this answer so you can walk in feeling confident.
So, picture this. You're in the interview, you're feeling good, the vibe is right, and then the hiring manager leans in and asks that question. The one that can totally make or break your entire technical discussion.
Now, on the surface, it sounds simple enough, right? But it's so incredibly open-ended. It's really designed to see not just what you know, but how you think. But don't sweat it, because we're about to give you a foolproof framework to answer this thing perfectly.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Here's the thing. A killer answer isn't just winged on the spot, no way. It follows a simple but really powerful formula that shows off your experience clearly and, most importantly, confidently.
So here it is. It's a simple three-parter. First, you need a strong, confident opening to set the stage. Second, you got to give a detailed breakdown of the key services you've actually put your hands on. And third, you wrap it all up with a concrete project story that brings it all to life.
You want to kick things off with a strong, concise overview just like this one. See how it immediately establishes your expertise, and it frames your answer around things that businesses actually care about, reliability and cost efficiency. It tells the interviewer, hey, I'm not just a coder, I'm a problem solver.
Okay, now we're getting into the real meat of your answer. This is where you prove you've got real, hands-on experience. The key here is to organize the services you talk about into logical groups. It shows you're not just listing things, you think like an architect.
You always want to start with the fundamentals, the absolute bread and butter, compute and storage. So for compute, you can talk about using EC2 or maybe ECS to deploy your APIs, how you handle auto-scaling, and for storage, S3 is a classic. You can mention using it for file uploads, logs, backups, you name it. These are the foundational building blocks of pretty much any backend system.
All right, next up, let's talk about how you handle data and keep things locked down. This is where you can mention your experience with both relational databases like RDS and maybe some NoSQL like DynamoDB, and this is critical, bring up IAM for security. It shows you understand a core concept like least privilege access.
And then you round it out with how you actually manage the traffic and, keep an eye on things once they're live. Talk about using an application load balancer, an ALB, to route traffic, and of course, CloudWatch for logging and setting up those all-important alarms. This shows you're thinking about the full lifecycle of an application, from deployment all the way to production support.
Oh, and this is a total game changer. If you can mention your experience with CI/CD pipelines for automated deployments, that tells the interviewer that you're all about reliability and efficiency. You know how to cut down on manual mistakes. It is a massive plus.
Okay, so listing a bunch of services is fine, but it's not going to land you the job. Now for the most important part. You have to connect all those services to a real-world project. This is what makes your experience tangible. It proves you can actually apply what you know.
Your story needs to be tight and to the point, kind of like this example. Name the project, and then just clearly list the services you used and, crucially, how they all fit together to build a working system. It paints a perfect picture of your architectural choices. And here it is. This is the final step that takes your answer from good to absolutely great. You have to connect your technical decisions back to business outcomes. So what was the result? Did your architecture improve scalability? Maybe it could handle 50% more traffic. Did it reduce downtime? Did you cut infrastructure costs? This is what separates the top candidates from everyone else.
Let's be super clear about this. When you start talking about business outcomes, you're sending a powerful signal. You're telling the interviewer that you get it, that technology isn't just for fun, it's a tool to solve real business problems.
Think about it from their side of the table for a second. As you're telling your story, they've got this little mental checklist going. Okay, do they have real experience? Check. Do they get scalability and security? Check. Do they think about cost and performance? Check. Your project story just ticks all those boxes for them.
All right, so you've laid out this fantastic, structured answer. But how do we add that final bit of polish that takes it from just good to truly memorable? This is what I like to call interview gold. If there's one major mindset shift you can make, it's this right here. Seriously, anyone can memorize a list of technologies. The best candidates, the ones who get the offers, they show how they've used those technologies to solve specific, challenging problems. Look, If your mind goes blank and you can only remember one thing from this whole explainer, make it this sentence. It's so powerful and concise. It's a perfect summary of your entire experience, and it hits all the right keywords: secure, scalable, well-monitored, and maybe the most important part, in real projects.
So at the end of the day, this is your template. It's your blueprint. Take these pieces and build your own story around them. Think about the projects you're proud of, the challenges you faced and overcame. Now it's your turn to go out there and craft an answer that really shows off the unique problems that you've solved.